What is up, everybody? Scratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. It finally happened. It's finally here, guys. We've been waiting for so long, but it's finally here. Clan versus clan. I'm just messing with you all, guys. We do have a couple of things to talk about. So probably you guys notice, for whoever logged in the game, we have a drop fever event that started, and that's on resistance gear from the Ice Golem. 2 more chances to get resistance gear. Now, a lot of you guys probably are wondering, well, resistance gear kind of sucks. We have so many champions that buff accuracy, resistance is dead. No, it's not. No, it's not. So, as long as you get to build your champions right, you get to synergize your team right, resistance is just not dead. As long as you don't allow the opponent to bring in a champion that buffs accuracy, resistance is not dead. So, it's all about the team you're building for your defense, if we're talking about arena. Now, if we're talking about PvE, resistance is great for the Doom Tower. Resistance is great for the faction wars. Not great for clan boss, not so impactful for dungeons. But when we're talking about the Doom Tower, we're talking about faction wars, resistance actually plays a huge role. Will I go for this? Yes, most probably I'll be throwing some of these gems right here into trying to get some better resistance gear. I'm not gonna lie, it's not one of the strongest set that I have. Like, I'm lacking a lot of good pieces from this specific set, even though I farmed Ice Golem quite a lot. And it's not only the resistance set that you can get from here, guys. Crit rate set is actually not bad early game, mid game, even towards end game. You can use it on some champions for faction wars or around. Retaliation, not bad. Reflex, again, not bad. Taunting is a great set as well. Defense, offense, life, they're kind of like okay, but if you get good pieces and you manage to make a set, why not, right? Like, why not use them? It's not like they're bad. They're just not as good as Cruel or stuff like that, but they're still good good sets overall, guys. Especially Reflex, it feels like it's so good now. Retaliation, pretty decent. And how I said, resistance is not dead, as long as you build your stuff properly. But I've talked about this, guys. We do have the new patch dropping in either tomorrow, either the day after. I think it's the day after, not tomorrow. So on 2nd, together with the fusion. That's kind of like what's planned most probably. So what is changing with the patch? Update 4.4 is due to arrive soon. So what's the patch, guys, is containing some new awesome champions and a new few QOL improvements. Keep an eye on our social media and game news in Raid, because we'll have something special ready soon. Whatever that means, but if it's special, I'll take it. In the meanwhile, check out the champions and whatever we prepared. We're gonna check the champions on the test server, guys, because we can see them in full body. We can see all their movements, we can see their book requirements properly, we can see everything there. So we're gonna check them on the test server. But scrolling down, we have 3 legendaries, including the one for the fusion, and 2 epic champions. So we're gonna move on that as well. Miscellaneous. So what exactly they changed, guys? Seems like this is more of a whale sort of patch. Summon Gomlock Skyhide from Fragments will be moved to part 7 of progress missions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because it really made no sense why you want to block us there. So when you go to missions, guys, we have right here, summon this dude from the Doom Tower, right? So this is the last champion you can receive from the Doom Tower by collecting fragments. So probably it's like a month and a half away for all the people to get him, and then we could be able to move over from this mission. So basically what these missions require is to summon this champion before you even beat the Doom Tower, okay? So basically I have to beat which stage? Let me see. I gotta beat like a low stage for whoever didn't have a chance to see the missions, for whoever doesn't have them unlocked. So beat the Doom Tower on hard mode floor 20. And you want me to summon that champion before I do all that? No, it should be the other way around. If you wanna block us, just, I don't know, you already blocked us with glyphs anyway. So whenever I get to 40 glyphs, I'll be stuck in there forever. But that's a great thing. They announced that already, that they're gonna change it. So all good for it. Now the next thing that they announced that is gonna change, guys, and again, is mainly for whales. It's not really gonna affect the super low spenders or free-to-play players. Void Shards will receive a summon 10x option in the summon portal. Yay! Finally! I always thought that the reason why we don't have it is because people will see them with a different value, you know, like comparing them next to the Ancients. Why is the Void 3 times more expensive than the Ancient? And yeah, that's why they kind of made it open singles. I feel like that was like the idea of making them feel special, like the Sacred Shards, even though they're not. They're a 0.5% chance to get a Legendary, and you can get a V6 out of it. A V6. Tapping the sell button in the artifact storage will no longer add a selected artifact or accessory to the list of items you wish to sell. This change should help players avoid selling artifacts by accident. Even players who are not part of a clan will be able to view information about the clan boss difficulties and rewards. So, pretty good changes, guys. Nothing to be out of the ordinary, to be like, wow, you know, but it's still a thing. What they meant with selling gear, for example, is when you do this. You see, that's automatically selected to sell it. So instead of being selected, you can just switch to this menu without selecting a piece of gear, like you already clicked on it. That's what it means. So let's have a look at the champions. And we're on the test server right now. I have access to all the new champions, and we can actually have a look at them, have a look at their kit, just have a look how the champions look like. We don't really need to stay on their website and have a look just at the portraits. We have them in full here. Do expect a guide on the new fusion champion for tomorrow, guys. Here we have the Void Affinity Barbarian, Tuhanarak, the new champion support. She looks pretty awesome, kind of like the Egyptian sort of style. I really like the design on the champion. Awesome, awesome stuff. Now, base stats as well for a support champion, 21,000 HP, 1.2k defense, right? 106 speed, looks pretty good. Resistance, accuracy. She kind of has everything in here. Her skills, let's have a quick look at the books first. So we have 4, 9, 11 books in total. So pretty good overall for the champion. Her kit, guys, her A1, Sun's Kiss, attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance, 50% chance fully booked of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Places a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 1 turn. Also, places a 15% continuous heal buff for 1 turn on the ally with the lowest HP. Damage based on defense. That's pretty good. I think she might be one of the very first support champions in the game that has damage based on defense. Correct me if I'm mistaken here, but I can't really remember of many different champions that actually have that. Considering she has a pretty good base defense, she might be hitting hard, guys. Just an idea. Her A2 attacks one enemy. Fully booked, 100% chance of placing a decreased attack debuff and a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. That's on a 3-turn cooldown. Also applies a debuff spread effect, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies. So if you don't have a debuffer going in front of her, she'll be landing attack down and a block buffs AoE. Kind of like that's what it works. If you have different champions that debuff before her, you're gonna just throw up the dice and whatever 2 debuffs she's gonna pick random, she's gonna spread on all the enemy team. A3, Desert Fitness. On a 3-turn cooldown fully booked, places an increased defense and an increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Pretty decent. Now let me kind of give you something as an idea. It's not confirmed, this is just my assumption. This champion right here is most probably gonna be on guaranteed 150 Void event. Why? Because she's not OP, she's new. So I really think she's gonna be on that 150 Void Shards event. Is she really worth it as a champion? Is she powerful enough for you guys to try to get out of the way and go and get a champion like this? If will be on the event. Not sure what to say. Probably only if you want to collect champion. She looks awesome. I don't find it like she's gonna be broken. She's not gonna be anywhere too crazy, you know. But hey, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, and this is just my assumption. I have a feeling that it might. The passive removes 1 random debuff from all allies at the start of each turn. Removes 2 random debuffs instead from allies under continuous heal buffs. So, kind of like, what's her name? Doom Priest. She is kind of like Doom Priest. Actually, if you are looking a bit closer, maybe the faces are a bit familiar. I might be wrong, so don't judge me here. I haven't looked at Doom Priest in a while. No, not really. Not really. I thought that they are a bit familiar, but they're not. So, yeah, she's kind of similar with that, with this passive, which is a great thing. This passive is awesome. Then you have defense up, you have increased speed, pretty good combined. This one right here is not such a powerful skill, but the rest is pretty good. And the aura increases ally accuracy in all battles by 70. So hey, you can't really complain. Probably if I would have the shards, as an example, how I'm saying an assumption, just considering how the past things happened, and they will put her in the 150 deal. Probably if I would have the shards, I might try and go for her. She does look awesome though, like the design is super cool on it. Right, the next champion on the list that got released, Versul the Grim. Now this is the fusion champion, guys. There it is in all its splendor, all its glory. Let's have a look at the base stats. 22.6k HP, 1.2k defense, 96 speed, 50 resistance, 10 accuracy. Books, 4 books in the A1, 5 in the A2, that's 9, 11 books. 11 books in total for this fusion champion, guys. We have this on a 3-turn cooldown, fully booked, right? AoE, stun. No, AoE and extra hit on stun, sorry. It has the 100% chance to place Leech. Beg your pardon. Then this right here on a 3-turn cooldown as well. So overall, it's not bad. Books as well, 11 books is pretty decent comparing with the new system that they require tons and tons. We're not gonna go through the skills, guys. We already made a video on this champion as well, talking about it. What do we think about it? For faction wars, he's not gonna be as powerful as you might think, especially for the last stage, because you do have a lot of spirit affinity champions. Again, on the boss, you don't really want to buff a lot because the boss steals buffs, and that will kill him, will steal ally protection. Whenever you deal damage to the boss, he's gonna take damage, etc. So that's a thing you might want to keep in mind. Same with Miscreated Monster. They're not really the best champions for that particular stage. Of course, they're great on the waves, especially Miscreated Monster. But this one right here, I feel like he won't be as good for stage 21, where most of you guys are struggling. Yeah, he's decent CC. He's gonna be great for the Doom Tower, for the Magma Dragon. Rather than that, I'm not sure how hard he hits. I do like the idea of having Leech and having defense up and ally protection for clan boss, and he has pretty good base stats, so I don't see why I wouldn't want to try something silly with this champion. So I'll give it a go. But yeah, this is the fusion champion. The next one that we have on the list, we do have some more badass looking champions in here, guys. This one right here, Cleopteryx. Sounds a bit Greek, right? Skinwalker, attack, legendary champion, spirit affinity. She looks awesome, right? Like, look at this design as well, man. It looks so badass. I really like this champion. Skills, actually base stats, sorry. She's an attack based champion, so her HP is kind of like 14.5k, 1.5k attack, 1079 defense, 102 speed, basic crit rate, 63 crit damage, 30 resistance, 10 accuracy. How many books we need? 4, 8, 12 books in total. Let's have a quick look at the skills. Her A1, that dive, attacks one enemy, 50% chance of placing a weakened debuff for 2 turns. The chance increases to 70 if the target is under a hex debuff. Places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy under a hex debuff. The A2 places a 30% increased crit rate buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Has a 100% chance of placing a block active skills debuff for 2 turns on targets under hex debuff. The A3 places a 50% increased accuracy buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Has a 100% chance of placing a hex debuff for 3 turns. 100% chance of placing a fear debuff for 1 turn instead on enemies under hex debuffs. So, wait 1 second. Places a hex, right? Then, how come she has another 100% chance of placing a fear debuff for 1 turn instead on enemy under hex debuff? So, if I already have a hex on an enemy, right? If I already landed a hex from a different skill, she will place fear instead of the hex. Kind of, that's what it means, if I understood that correctly. So that's pretty good. Increases accuracy. I feel like her and Ruel together, they're gonna be super badass. Like, she has this one right here, block active skills as well. So you can build her just as a CC to block the skills on the enemies and give her a lot of accuracy. She's gonna land the accuracy as well, land the hacks, and then Ruel can come in and wreck the enemy team. And like this, it kind of, more or less, you're gonna have a chance of countering the Swift parry with these two champions together. The only problem is a debuff, so the debuffs, they get to be removed from mastery, so that's gonna play a bit of a The passive counter attacks with a default skill every time this champion loses 30% HP or more in a single turn. Always counter attacks when attacked if 2 or more allies are dead. Again, that sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound like she's wow, out of the ordinary, like super powerful champion, but she does look awesome and fairly decent skills. The next champion that we have on the list, I think it might be another one left only, guys, if I'm not mistaken, or there might be 2. But this one right here, I gotta tell you, man, wow. Not the kit, just wow, look at this design. Look at this design. Venomage, look at it, man. Looks so badass, huh? Even the scepter is like a cobra, or I'm not sure if it's a cobra, this snake right here. I'm not a pro at snakes, guys, but design, man, looks wow, right? Like lizard man champion, epic support, magic affinity. Let's have a quick look at total stats. So is a support, how I said, 17,000 HP, 1,000 attack, 1.1k defense, 96 speed. The speed is kind of a bit like, snakes are pretty fast, right? 30 resistance, 15 accuracy. We need 4, 8, 12 books in total. The A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, decreases the target's max HP by 75% of the damage inflicted if they are under a heal reduction debuff. Each hit has a 50% chance of activating up to 2 poison debuffs on the target. So basically activating, that kind of means like if you have poisons on the target, she's kind of, or he is kind of gonna do the same thing like a Xavier, but just 2 poisons, and it's only a 50% chance to happen. It doesn't say like it lands a poison. The A2 attacks one enemy, has a 100% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 100% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns if the target is under a poison debuff. So basically, guys, you have defense down and you have attack down from this skill on a 3-turn cooldown. Sounds pretty good. As long as you have a poison on the enemy, you're gonna land attack down as well. Of course, you do have the RNG of getting resisted and stuff like that. The A3 attacks all enemies, 100% chance of placing a heal reduction debuff for 3 turns. Also, 100% chance of placing 2 5% poison debuffs for 2 turns, and that's on a 3-turn cooldown. Pretty good. It's not only good for a clan boss. I have a feeling that it can be pretty good on the Scarab King as well with the right setup, with the right team. The passive, enemies under heal reduction debuffs inflict 15% less damage. That's a great damage reduction as well on bosses, man. Like, if you land heal reduction on a boss, you'll be getting 15% less damage. That's pretty badass, actually. That's a great thing. I like it that they're bringing new ideas in. So that's a nice touch right there. Increases ally accuracy in all battles by 45%. Pretty good aura, not out of the ordinary, but definitely a good aura. Now, I think that was all for all the new champions, guys. I honestly hope I haven't missed any of them. No, actually I have one next to it. Jesus. So we have another one from the Night Revenants. Pharsalus Grave Dirt, right? I haven't even checked the kit of this champion. I completely missed it before, same like now. So let's have a quick look. What do we have on this champion? What is it? Defense-based epic magic affinity from the Night Revenant. 18,000 HP, 1.1k defense, 90 speed. This is pretty slow. 45 resistance, 10 accuracy. How many books we need in here? 4, 9, 11. I like it. Seems like most of these champions, they're kind of like on 11 books. They're not blowing off the roof to 15 and stuff like that. So let's have a quick look at the kit. A1 attacks one enemy, 40% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn, places a 50% decrease attack debuff for 1 turn if the target is under a fear or true fear debuffs. The A2 attacks all enemies, 100% chance to place heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Seems like they're trying to bring quite a few champions with a heal reduction in here. The A3 places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP. Also places a 15% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. So we got strengthen and shield buff. Correct me if I'm wrong, is this the small version of strengthen? Is this the first champion in the game that has 15% strengthen? Isn't the normal strengthen 25%? I might be wrong on here, but I just got like hit in the head because I just noticed that now. I think it's small, right? Even the icon here shows it differently. The passive, so 30% of every champion's max HP is decent. You don't really have to tank a lot of HP on this champion, you know. But at the same time, if you have an attack champion, it's not great because the shield is gonna be super small. This one right here actually looks a bit better for faction wars than the other one, you know. The passive, immune to fear and true fear debuffs, great. Whenever an ally's HP drops below 50 from an enemy attack, has a 50% chance to place a fear debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Whenever an ally dies, a 75% chance to place a true fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. That's definitely pretty powerful, and the passive increases ally defense in faction creeps by 30%. I feel like this is kind of not wow, the epic champion. Decent, but not something like I would go crazy for. I'm just double checking if by any chance I missed any of the legendary champions, because it's pretty easy to miss them like this while you scrolling up and down. We covered this, the fusion one, we got the void one, so I think we save, guys. Do let me know what you think about these champions. Any of them your favorite? You think this might be on the next 150 event? It might do one on void because we never had one, but hey, this is my assumption. It might happen considering how it happened with the previous champions. Do let me know in the comments down below your thoughts, guys. Appreciate all of you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe for more content, turn on notifications to see when we upload next, and I'll see you all soon on another video. Till then, peace out.